Good morning students. In this video I am going to explain about media access control. What do you mean by media access control? It is a data transfer policy that determines how data is to be transmitted between computer terminals through the cables. And it involves in the sublayer of data link layer in OSI. You know OSI 7 layers are there, no? This belongs to a data link layer, and MAC is one of the sublayer of data link layer. It is responsible for moving packet from one network interface card to another. Mainly it is used in the shared medium. See in this picture, the data link layer, there is two sublayers are available. One is LLC and another one is MAC. So these type of protocols we are used in MAC only. And the coming slides I am going to explain about what are the different types of protocols available. And when nodes and stations are connected and use a common link, that is if there is a shared medium, then we are using this multiple access protocols in order to coordinate the access to the link. If so many stations are accessing the shared link, then there is a possible of collision will be there, that is one bit may collide with other. So that times we are using these protocols to coordinate the access to the link. These are the types of protocols used in MAC. Three types are there. One is random access protocol, and another one is controlled access protocol, and another one is channelization protocols. Now we will see in the upcoming slides these four type of random access protocols one by one. What is the meaning of random access? That is, there is no restriction that any station can access the channel at any time. The thing is, the channel must be ideal. If it is busy, it's not able to send. Two features given in this method are, there is no scheduled time for the station to transmit. At any time they can transmit, and it is random among the stations. There are four types on there. One is Alaga and CSMA, CSMA CD and CSMA CA. Alaga means additive links online Hawaii area, and CSMA means carrier sends multiple access protocol, and CSMA CD means CSMA with collision detection, and CA means collision avoidance. So random access protocols, first one Alaga, it is mainly used in wireless LANs and also in shared medium. That pure Alaga and original Alaga both are same only. It is an idea that whenever the station wants to send a frame, it can send. Since there is one channel to share, there will be a possibility of collision will occur here. So we have to resend the frame if it is destroyed. See here in this picture, 4 stations are trying to send the frames, 2 frames, total 8 frames they want to send, and only 2 frames survive, that is station 1 and station 3. Other places are collision occurs. That only explain here. Total number of frames in the previous picture want to send is 8, and only 2 frames survive, means station 1 and 3 survive. Other there is a collision occurs. And then pure Alaga, if any collision occurs, then so there is a need of acknowledgement here. If the acknowledgement does not arrive the center, it resends the frame again. So pure Alaga has a second method to prevent the collision, and that is the retransmitting the frame. Next, what do you mean by vulnerable time? Vulnerable time means how long the collision occurs while sending a frame. Say in this picture, B, there is a 2 places collision occur. How long this happens during transmission? The length of the time in which there is a possibility of collision. So the time limit of collision, here vulnerable time, for example, A and B collides at this place. The first column is given, no? First shadow, that is A and B collide. In the second shadow, B and C collide. And so that time we have to calculate. How we have to calculate the collision time? That is the vulnerable time of B means, in the first place you see A and B collide, no? The time limit is given as t, and then this A starts at time t minus TFR. So we have to subtract this TFR minus T plus TFR. So we will get T will be cancelled, then we will get TFR, and B and C collide. There also we will get one collision. That time is T plus FR minus C, and we get again TFR. So we are adding this 2 TFR we will get. That is the vulnerable time of Pure-Alaga. And then throughput. What is the throughput? How many average number of frames are generated by the system during one transmission time? How many frames are generated? How many frames it will transmitted? And in Pure-Alaga it is S equal to G e power minus 2G. And then Slaughter-Alaga. What is the difference between Pure-Alaga and Slaughter-Alaga? Pure-Alaga, we are only sending the frames. There is no division of time limit. But here, in order to improve the efficiency of Pure-Alaga, the time is divided into several slots. Each frame can send the each station can send the frame at the start of time limit only. After that, it can't send. Time limit is allocated. That is splitted. And here also there is a problem will come at the same time limit. If so many stations are trying to send, then there is a collision occurs. But there is a little efficiency here. In Slaughter-Alaga, there is still the possibility of collisions. That's only given in the third point. If the two stations trying to set at the beginning of the same time slot, then there is a collision will occur. But here the vulnerable time, that is a collision occurring time, no, that will be reduced. In the Pure-Alaga it is 2 TFR, but in Slaughter-Alaga it is TFR. See here, if you are going to find out vulnerable time here, T plus FR, TFR minus T, then the result we will get TFR only. That is vulnerable time is reduced compared to Pure-Alaga, because here we are dividing the different time slot, then that particular time slot only the stations can transmit. And then here throughput also little bit high compared to that, and the formula here is S equal to G e power minus G. And then carrier cells multiple access, that is sensing the channel before transmit. That is the meaning, that is sense before transmit, that is the meaning. This method also reduce the possibility of collision, but it cannot eliminate it. I will see the explanation of this picture now. Here the stations are connected to the shared channel, and here in this picture, station B at time t1 only senses a medium and it finds ideal, and then at C it sends a frame at time limit 2 that it finds ideal. So first bits from station B have not been reached station C. C also sends a frame. So without the bit sent by B didn't reach C, but C started to send the frame. So there is a collision occurs. For example, if B going to send a for example, if B senses a medium, it finds it is ideal, so it sends a frame. C also started send the frame, but B's bit didn't reach C. Before that, C started sending. So here also collision will occur. Senses a medium, but the bit didn't reach that particular station, so there is a collision occur here. And here the vulnerable time is the propagation time Tp. So during that propagation time there will be a possible of collision. For example, A starts at time T1 and it reaches at time Tp. So its propagation time is T1 plus Tp. So before that, if any station trying to send, then there will be a collision will occur. Here three types of methods are used. One is one persistence, non-persistence, and P persistence. One persistence means if the channel is ideal, suddenly the station try to send, so there is a highest chance of collision will be there. But in case of non-persistence, it wait for a particular amount of time if the channel is busy. So that is called as a non-persistent time. Here also after resending time there will be a possible of a collision will be there. And then P persistence, it combines methods of both checking for ideal as well as wait for some time, like it combines both one persistence and n persistence, then that is called as a p persistence method. The picture given here, one persistence means it will check for the ideal and then it sends a frame, and then n persistence means it wait for some time, then trying to send retransmission, then also collision. Sometimes if both are retransmitting at the same time also collision will occur. So by combining both the strategies, that is p persistence method. And then next concept is CSMACD, that is collision detection. This carrier sends multiple access with collision detection. Here, the station monitors a medium after it sends a frame. Continuously, it is watching whether the transmission was successful or not. Here, for example, see here, station A sends a frame at time t1 and it senses time t4 only it find out collision occurs, because before A's frame reaches C also sends its frame in both sides. C is a bidirectional, so it sends both left and right direction. It sends the frame. A also started sending before a bit of A reaches C also started sending. So there is a collision A and C. But A feels collision occurs at time t4 and C feels collision occurs at time t3. So what is the transmission time of A? That is t4 minus t1. T1 is the time it started to send and T4 is the time when it feels there is a collision occurs, and started time of C is T2 and it find out collision occurs as T3. So there is a transmission time for C is T3 minus T2. That only explained in these slides. Okay, A detects collision where it find out collision at T4. So that's transmission time T4 minus T1. Similarly, C find out when there's a collision occurs at time T3. So that's given T3 minus T2. So how to avoid this? It's better we can minimize the frame size. So if the frame size is less also we can avoid collision, and the transmission time must be at least 2 times of the maximum propagation time. If the time limit little bit more also, there is a less chance of collision. Okay, what is the difference between ALOGA and CSMA CD? First difference is that here we are using persistence methods, that is one persistence, p persistence, n persistence are there, no, that is after that is before resending we are waiting for some time. I think some of the procedures we are using, suddenly we are not sending, waiting for some time and we are continuing the process, no, that is the main difference. And then second one is, in ALOGA, we first transmit the entire frame and then waiting for acknowledgement. But in CSMA, after the transmission, we are continuous. It is a continuous process. After continuous, we are sensing again and again. So this is a continuous process. That is, in the ALOGA, first we are transmitting and then wait for acknowledgement only. But here, transmission and collision are a continuous process. And third thing is, here we are sending a jamming signal. We have to make sure that whether other stations are aware of that collision, whether all the stations know about that collisions. Okay. And then what do you mean by energy level? Here in CSMA CD there is 3 types of energy level will be there. One is 0, another one is normal and abnormal. 0 means the channel is ideal, normal means they successfully captured the channel and is sending its frame, and abnormal means there is a collision will occur and the energy is twice the normal level. This the situation where collision occurs and where the channel ideal, that is given here. And what is the throughputs of CSMA CD? Here throughput is little bit high compared to that of pure and slotted ALOGA. Here maximum throughput is occurs based on the persistence method. You know, different persistence methods are we are using, regarding to that persistence method, here throughput will differ. If you are using one persistence method, maximum throughput is around 50% when g equal to 1, and in the case of non-persistence method, your throughput is up to 90% when the value of g between 3 to 8. And collision avoidance, here we are using three strategies. We are using, one is interframe space, contention window, and acknowledgements. So what do you mean by interframe space? If the channel ideal, the station does not send immediately. Here what techniques we are using is, if it is ideal, we are not sending immediately, we are waiting for a particular amount of time called as a interframe space. Interframe space means after finding out ideal also, the station is waiting for a particular amount of time to send a frame, that is called as a interframe space. Next, what is the contention window? It is also a division of sum of the time limits. Again we are waiting. Already to send chooses a random amount of slots in the window accordingly to the binary backup strategy. That is contention window also, this is a division of time limit. That is set to one slot the first time. For example, waiting time also, for a station it has wait for one time slot, and again if the channel is not ideal, again it will wait for two time slot, like that it has to wait. No, so the time slot is a division of amount of time. IFS means after it finds ideal, it won't send immediately, it wait for a particular amount of time, that is called as the interframe space. Condenser window also, time is divided into several time slots. So see here in this picture, channel continuously sends the frame. If it is found ideal, suddenly it won't send. See here IFS time, that is interframe space, it waits for some amount of time. And again you see here condensation window means again some time slots will be there. Maybe that the station can wait for one time slot or two time slot. How many slots again it is waiting after IFS, that is a condensation window, and then only the frame is sent out. So here two waiting times, IFS also one waiting time, and then again condensation window, that is some time slots also it will wait, then only it will send the frame. Okay, and then acknowledgement, and this is also important, whether the frame received is properly received or not. Okay, and one more additional things we are using here, additional RTS frames and all we are using here. In before sending, we are getting a confirmation from the receiver. Okay, here we will see that the frame exchange timeline. Before sending the frame, the source station senses a medium by checking the energy level, and then it wait for some period of time called DCF interframe space, DIFS. Already I told that in this CSMA we are waiting for some amount of time called DIFS. Okay. See in this picture, here we are waiting for a time IFS as well as sending a RTS frame, that is request to send. Here sender sends RTS frame. It won't send suddenly. Sends an RTS frame through the receiver, and then it wait for, from the receiver it wait for a signal clear to send. After getting that message only, it will, that station will transmit the frame. Okay, and third one, the source station sends data after waiting amount of time that equal to SIFS. Next one, the destination after waiting an amount of time sends an acknowledgement to show that the frame has received. Okay, first the sender gives an RTS frame, that is request to send, and then the receiver send clear to send. After received, In the fourth step, the receiver must send an acknowledgement that it has received. Then only it will confirm and it continues the next process and to confirm for the successful arrival. Okay, here some of the definitions are available in this CSMSEA. One is network allocation vector. These are the important definitions. Network allocation vector means in order to avoid collisions, this is a time limit, how long it will occupy a channel, how long a particular channel occupy, how long a particular station occupy a channel, that time limit is called as NAV. Because if is every station specified that time limit, then it is better for other stations can wait this much time, NAV time. Okay, that is given here. When the station sends an RTS frame, it includes the duration of time that it needs to be occupied the channel. Okay, so this is a time limit, how long a particular station occupy the channel. So during that time other stations can wait till that NAV. So the station that are affected by this transmission create a timer called NAV. So every station must start an NAV that shows how much time must pass before accessing that channel. Okay, and then one more definition. What is the meaning of handshaking here? The time limit between that RTS and FTS. No, here I told what is RTS. Request to send, that is called as a RTS, and then clear to send, that is a CTS. That message transmission, that is called as a handshaking here. If there is a collision during that handshaking, this handshaking time also collision will occur. That is called as a collision during handshaking. If it happens, then again there will be a waiting time, so the sender will trace again. And here we will find out some of the hidden stations problem here. For example, the solution to the hidden station problem is the use of handshake frames. Suppose a message is sent from B to A but not C, but A and C are close to B. So that is within the range of A only. C also within the range of A. So whatever message, CTS message, and duration of time limit will be transmitted from B to A, that will reach C also. So then it will identify there will be a hidden station will be there and it won't send during the time limit. Okay, these are the four protocols available in MAC, that is random access protocol available in MAC. Okay, thank you students.